serious it can be for people who are living with mental health illnesses, and how can it even lead to poor mental health for people who are facing traumatic events such as sexual abuse or many more traumatic events?
Thank you again, Aminata Senior. So stigma in a society like ours has been used to taunt or to laugh at people who are going through mental illnesses or have faced some traumatic episodes. So let me use a realistic example. The issue of rape that is on the increase right now in Sierra Leone. They are raping not only 15 or 16-year-old girls, also 2 years, 6 months, 1 year and up. Imagine at 1 year, at the age of 1, I've been tampered with, I've been penetrated in, because you don't rape under 18, you penetrate. So at the age of 1, I've been penetrated on without even a consciousness of who I am as a human. But then I have to grow up in a society that uses stigma to taunt or to laugh at people. At 10, I'm playing with my contemporaries and maybe, with kids, and then I hit someone. No one can be no one that will go 1 year and they rape you. And then I have to ask a teacher or an aunt, what's in a rape? Oh, we be 1 year, one man be put your hand by you, excuse me, put your hand by you, and I just another day. And then at 15, she's having an argument with someone, with a contemporary also. But they are making not for me. From when they rape you 1 year, now you don't get sensitive, now you don't train it. And then that's a death to my self-esteem at 15. And at 18 in college, I'm having an argument in class, and someone just stands up. Don't you know that people in the rape you 1 year? I'm still in that area. And I have to grow up with that. And at 25, society expects me to be a full woman, to be a well-esteemed woman. It's not possible because I've been battling with self-esteem. I've been battling with something that's not my fault. Even if you're being penetrated at 16 because of what you wear, it's not your fault. And you have to live with that stigma. They have to point at you. They have to laugh at you. They have to laugh at your family. And then the pains of the stigma is not that it does not only affect you as a person, it points down to your generation, to your second, to your third generation. Because I might have been raped at 25, and then I bring a child into this world at 27, and that child might be playing somewhere where I'm not even there. And someone will you like mama then they get now you the mama will get you better. And for Sierra Leoneans, we use it to laugh at people. We use it as a way to get under their skin. And there's no one who you will use that to laugh at, who will dent that person's self-esteem, that person's ego. And so instead of us having a lesser number of mental health issues, especially in the result to trauma and depression, we're having an increase. Because not only in rape, in a lot of other mental health issues, for example, my brother and I were talking before we came inside, and he was telling me, I think we need to do a lot of community engagement. Because most times, you have the patient, and after going through their medications and all of that, they are fit to join back the community. But then, what about community acceptance? Come like, go there, make if you don't go there 2 years, they say, come on, I know fit for talk. You know it. And so there will never be a time when that person will be completely whole. Because even if they want to be whole, the stigma and the societal pressure, instead of helping them, derails their mental health. So let's go back to stigma in Sierra Leone, because Sierra Leone, it's like a culture. Until we have this mindset where this could have been me, or it could have been someone I know, wouldn't feel sorry or wouldn't feel compassionate or empathy for mentally ill, vulnerable people.
Yeah, and the other side of the coin is when people who are not even mentally challenged, but who are going through, let's say, traumas, like somebody who has HIV/AIDS, because we all know how stigmatized those people have been. So, Doctor, would you like to jump on that? Like how stigma can even lead to poor mental health for people?
Thank you, Aminata. You're quite right. Stigma, as Aminata has just said, is quite profound and quite widespread in Sierra Leone. We tend to point fingers at people, and stigma leads to shame. Stigma leads to shame, and then shame sometimes may lead to self-blame or other issues that may come up. So stigma, as we say, is a negative pointing fingers. Because, for example, if you are going to be admitted in the hospital, or in the site hospital where I work, and then you come out maybe after a couple of months or weeks, what are people going to say? Even if you cough, you go angry, they will say, but no manner. No, yes. And don't you have to get angry? You are human. If somebody disturbs you, you are likely to get angry. So stigma is actually why people don't come out. Yes. Yes. Before, during 1986, we had HIV, which was, as you can see, mental illness is older tenfold than HIV. But because of the global campaign and all the rest of this, HIV people now even go written on the back, I'm living positively with HIV and AIDS. But my God, just right at your back, I'm living positively with mental illness. Nobody will come here. Yes, so mental illness still has stigma, and we really need to break that barrier, that stigma barrier, before ever we really appreciate the fact. Even among the community, our loved ones, when they come from the hospital or when they are mentally ill, a little bit of anger, if you don't mind it, is from there. If you want to do something for yourself, if you take an axe, maybe you want to help people in splitting the wood, say, please give me. Don't come and cut somebody's head there. These are all issues that we need to address, as you can see. So stigma is very pervasive, and we need to really break that barrier.
Yeah. So contrary to stigma, how can love and empathy help in that process of healing up for people who are mentally challenged, and for even us, because as we always think that people out there are the ones who are vulnerable to mental health, but to mental health conditions. But I do think that we are all vulnerable, in as much as most of the symptoms that you have shared with us are seen in our societies, in our houses, and among our loved ones. So what is the role of love and empathy in that journey toward recovering a more stable mental health?
Yes. What we need to do as a nation, and I guess we are doing it it is growing up, as Aminata is saying, she's also part of it, and I'm happy that she's also passionate about mental health issues. We need to do what we call psychoeducation. Psychoeducation. You can be literate. Literally, what I mean, you go to school, you have your beard, or you have your master, this, that. But you are not educated in the issue of mental health. These are two different things. You can be literate, you can read and write, you can do all your sums, Excel and whatever, but you are not educated in mental health. Even doctors, specialists, nurses, specialist doctors are not educated in mental health. So we need to do psychoeducation, not to talk less of the population. If somebody is mentally ill now, what do we do? I will take him to or her to Baba Balao, because I don't want that stigma to be for him or her to be admitted in the hospital, so that it shows that don't worry, it was from there. So we need to show love and passion. Okay, we need to give them support. If somebody comes from the hospital and then it goes back, please give them that support. It could have been you, mind you. Nobody is exempted from having mental health problems. That's the best. From the president down to the porter, you can have president. And history has shown us that people that have been at the helm of things have had mental health problems. The Prime Minister of England during the Second World War had what we call autism of epilepsy. But he was the Prime Minister. Nixon had epilepsy. So as you can see, people, you are not exempted from mental illness. So love and compassion will help us build the bridge between stigma and acceptance. Because if that bridge is not built, we will still have this issue of casting aside people with mental illness, and that will not be helpful. We will not have a helpful community.
Thank you so much. So mentally challenged people can be discriminated against, but the sickness, the mental health conditions are non-discriminatory. As you said, they don't recognize who is prime minister, who is a minister, or who is a president. So we better all cater for ourselves, but also attend to people whom we see are mentally challenged. So, Aminata Junior, would you like to add something to the whole love and empathy has?
Yes, well, for me and my team, we call it support system. We call it support groups. Because, especially like what Mr. Bible was saying, the community acceptance is one. But then, aside the community acceptance, so I have a personal story. There was a time when, after my depressive state and all of that, we had some family meetings. Because during my depression, I turned into a recluse. I don't attend family functions, I don't go out with friends. So just me and my room, I cry whole day. Except if I have classes, then I'll wash up, dress up, and then go out. So after trying to recover and revive myself, we were having a family meeting and everybody was talking. I was staring into space. Oh, I mean, now you did talk to, so I did watch fun. Now then, a cousin, this is a place you don't be in place to. Or maybe Papa died, let's again. So, if only this person knows what I've been through for the past 2 years and what I'm trying to come out from, and then the least you can do, instead of trying to talk to me, trying to cancel me, is to tell me it's a place you don't be in place to. It's like all my efforts go to null and void. So except families try to accept their people going through episode, except communities, even religious leaders, the church, the monks, they have a role to play. It's not only about standing in front of the pulpit or mosques to pray, but then you have to have time to notice your congregation. There are times even the most super and hyperactive people, they turn into a big group. And until you go out to meet them, until you talk to them, until you try to have a one-on-one engagement with them, you will not be able to know what they are going through. And if that person is depressed or stressed, no matter how much you preach to them, no matter how much you try to tell them about God, about what to do, what not to do, it's gonna be in vain. So the church has a role to play, the monks has a role to play, the teachers in school have a role to play, doctors have a role to play. You as an individual, you have a role to play to your friend, to your fiance, to your wife, to your husband, to your kid, to the people around you. So the love and empathy, it's our business. It's not just the mental health doctor's business. It's not just us in the social activism business. It's even you as an individual's business. Try to understand the friend, try to know that this person was this way and now this person, because the moment you are faced with mental health issues, if someone is very observant, you will notice that this person was this way and now this person is this way. So then you have a role to go out to meet that person and try to engage, even though there are times, no matter how much you try because of the stigma. So people just won't come out, some people just won't say it out. But then you have a way to play around to find a way to revive and restore them.
That makes me realize how much we need each other. Because that person who sat there was talking about you getting sick or you getting mentally challenged. If only she knew how much you needed her, or even how a conversation around tea or around guama tea or whatever would have helped you in getting out of that traumatic event, then it would be so helpful and so human from her. Okay, that being said, I would give the mic to Regina for a short break.
I'm Nina Vilkis, Ori from Sierra Leone. So Ori is a natural unisex product. We have 3 products: hair, body, and bug repellent. So we have those that are in small containers and we have those that are in big containers. So we're also a social enterprise, which basically means that 5% of our proceeds goes to a local community organization. So in as much as we're talking about mental health, the organization that we promote, that we support is called Girl at Vital of Sierra Leone. And one of our main projects are digital rights, mental health, and menstrual hygiene management. So if you want to support the girls, most importantly, get some good products, we are here. Also, if you're going to the Entrepreneurs Connect, we have some tickets available for sale, 30,000. It's at Kalon Park. So yeah, so Ori, nationally made, and a product of Sierra Leone. Thank you.
Okay, so let's come back to our conversation. As we, I think most of us know, there is a need for us to view, let's say, medication and therapy as normal, to normalize it and to make it less taboo and isolating for people who have already gone through medication or have been institutionalized, as you have mentioned. And how can we arrive at that? And the question is for both of you.
Thank you very much. We know that as I told you earlier on, we only have the Sierra Leone Psychiatric Hospital, the only psych institution in the country. And what we tend to do is when people have mental health problems, we take them up there and then they are admitted, coupled with the stigma. Sometimes their relatives do not go, they send other house help or they send other people to go. They are ashamed to go to even there themselves when they are not patient. So what the top less of the person that has been there. So what we are doing, or what is advisable, or what I would suggest, because this is what is happening in most countries. For example, England, the UK have closed most of their bigger psychiatric institutions, and they are now focusing on what? Community psychiatry. Yes. When you focus in community psychiatry, it's like you are reducing the stigma. You are having what? One, you let the community participate in the care of this mentally unwell person. Because if you go down there and then you educate them, you educate them that, look, this man is not as dangerous as you might think. Please be there by his side, help him out so that he can be able to recover fast. So you let them participate well. That destigmatizes, that reduces the shame. Secondly, you want to make sure patients or people that are mentally unwell are treated in their own homes. That also reduces the stigma. The crisis team or the community psychiatric health team is not going there with a big sign on the vehicle that mental hospital. It's going there just like a visitor. So you have a community psychiatric nurse, the psychiatrist, the social worker, and other people. They go in there in the patient's house. They see the patient, ask about him, and then what he needs, and then they give him his medication, and then tells him in conjunction with the relatives how to go about it. This reduces the stigma, as you can see. The patient is not being admitted, but the patient is taking medication at home. There was an innovation in Australia, I think Australia or Canada. What they are now doing is people that have mental illness, and some of them are on long-acting medication, which we call depot. They give it monthly. So what do they do? If the time for your medication is up, they will call you on your line and then say, James, where are you? Then you will say, I'm in this shopping mall, I'm in KFC, Kentucky Fried Chicken, or I'm at work. So what do? They go there, they go to the toilet, give you your brief, and then they move out. User friendly. Nobody knows that you've gone through this. These are innovative ways of seeing how people will get medication without passing through that door. As soon as you pass through that psychiatric door, even you, the nurses or the doctor, you will say, I mean, I'm a placement doctor or a placement nurse. So, but if these are all used, and then another thing that we are supposed to do is we will have halfway houses. These are very important. We build houses in communities, in identified areas in these communities, where people with mental illness do not come to the hospital. They come to these houses, they spend the whole day there, engage, like for example, they are engaged with computer, they go to the computer lab, engage in ceramic making, engage in pot making, and then at the end of the day, they go back home after they've had their food. So nobody knows, it is not written there that it is mental. So as you can see, these are all innovative ways of destigmatizing and making the services user-friendly. Because unless we make the service user-friendly, we are not going to have many people to come out. And some people will suffer in silence, and that is not good.
Thank you so much. Okay.
So since Mr. Bana has handled the user-friendly aspect, I want to focus more on the awareness. Because if we're going to have to reduce the taboo on medication, we need to create the awareness that mental health is as important as every other health, and there is actually no health without mental health. And to create this awareness, we need to focus on the 3 levels of engagement. You have the micro level, which is individual levels. You have to tell the individual that, yes, you are going through this, but with medications, with this, you can be able to recover and be a complete normal human again. And focus on the meso level, which is the community, the family, the smaller groups awareness, and then the macro level, which is the nationwide awareness. So until we let our citizens know that mental health is not a taboo, mental health is not a disease, it's not something like, because you don't go through this, I'm not for Kenya again, you're not for Ibakan with me, you're not for Sudan with this community again. And even in the schools, most of the kids are being stigmatized and discriminated against because they've gone through mental health episodes. And so we need to create the awareness so that the acceptance will be on the increase. And then also counseling centers. So I didn't suffer from counseling. Not every mental health episode needs hospitalization. Not every depression means you should be hospitalized, you should be locked up for 1 or 2 months. Sometimes you just need someone to talk to, someone to put you through, someone to listen, someone to look you straight in the eye and just say it's going to be fine. And these counseling centers don't only need to be physical centers, they are online counseling. There are some websites where you just go anonymous, you explain your problem or whatever you're going through, and then you have people who go to your DM and send you private messages. So until we bring this innovation into Sierra Leone, until we bring this technological way of handling mental health issues into Sierra Leone, there will always be a taboo that the moment I talk, see, I know they feel talky, I know they think straight, I'm having strange voices in my head, everybody will just stigmatize me, so I might as well just live with it until it becomes worsened to a point where you won't be able to recover from it.
So that leads me to asking the question about self-regulation and coping skills. Because we just mentioned the fact that people go through all those things, but they know that if they share it, they will be isolated and discriminated against. So how can we teach the general population those skills of self-regulation and coping strategies for them to safeguard their mental health?
So that should start with self-discipline firstly, because there are times you need to protect your sanity. If anybody really knows me or you have my number, you watch up my WhatsApp statuses. Most times I say, as long as I know that this thing has a tendency to ruin my sanity, I don't even allow it in my head. Or I don't even allow it around my life before it enters my head. So there are times you need to take a break from everything. There are times you need to discipline yourself. There are times you need to sleep more. There are times you need to rest. There are times you need to retreat, to revive and to rebuild yourself. You don't have to wait until it's worse. You don't have to wait until it's at the point where you will just sit and scream aloud in the whole room. There are times just a thought has the tendency to trigger a whole mental health episode in you. So you have to know when to retreat. You have to know when not to continue, even if it's a job. If you know that this job has a tendency to damage my sanity, has a tendency to damage my mental health, you retreat from it, you go back, you rethink, you go back to the drawing board. And about coping mechanisms, last October we did the first the first social evening for young people, which we themed Excel, where young people had the privilege to talk about episodes, to talk about experiences, and to share how their coping mechanisms. And most of what we discovered was that a lot of young people use drugs and alcohol as a way of coping mechanism, because they take it that, okay, if I just take this weed or I drink this amount of alcohol, I'll just sleep off and sleep away the pain. And that's not a good coping mechanism, because the moment you're sane, the problem is still there. The moment the effect of the weed or the alcohol or whatever you took leaves you, you're going to make the same problem. So taking drugs and alcohol, instead of helping you feel better, worsen your situation, because then it has a tendency to become an addiction. And then you not only suffer from mental health issues, you have liver to contend with, you have kidney to contend with, you have lungs to contend with, and all of that. Instead of you just actually finding time off, find someone to talk to, find someone to counsel you, find someone to excel with, and then just come come back to the drawing board and review your life. It's not about going back to, it's not about using the alternative of drugs and alcohol as a way of coping mechanism.
Yeah, another, you mentioned the unhealthy ones, the drugs, which is really sad for our younger generation. But one healthy way of coping is like what Global Embers Network is organizing, is writing. I myself have experienced great relief in writing. I just like take my pen and my book and I write everything that passes in my head and that I cannot tell to anybody else. And I would like you to tell us about that healthy initiative that you have for young people.
Okay, so this book is about 4 years old. It's really worn out now, I know. But then this book holds a lot of things about my life, about my feelings, about moods, about situations, about decisions, and happenstances. And that's because personally I write a lot. Well, I think it's a talent, but I can write. And part of a way of therapy for me, which I've been using for myself, is no matter how down I am, no matter how broken or depressed I am, I just take my book and write. And I write about everything and anything. And there are times after writing, I feel so satisfied, and I sit back and read through. And sometimes reading what I wrote like 5 minutes ago, it's like I'm reading someone else's life. Like, she said, if you don't go to volunteer, baby, struggle. Because there are times when I write feelings that even I myself can't comprehend, or I can't speak up, or I can't speak out. So writing has been a form of therapy for me. And because I know that, and it has worked for a lot of other people too, who I've been talking with. And so part of that is the reason why we are organizing an essay competition, Global Embers Network. Its submissions are open now from the 1st to the 30th April with the topic Dear Woman, exploring the dynamics of contemporary womanhood. But it has an age limit of 16 to 29 years of age in women, and then we have the essay rules. Send it to our email. So part of the reason why we're doing this is not only to unearth and provide safe platforms for girls and young women to showcase what they have inside of them, but then we also want to institutionalize the idea of writing as not only as a therapy, but then as a talent, as a skill which you'll be able to use to make a life and a living for yourself.
Thank you so much. Thank you for that. I would like to join this question, the one that we just have gone through, with the social media one, because Dr. mentioned the using technology as a way of reaching out to patients. But what we have realized is that social media is also having a great toll on people's health, and on people's mental health. So what is the, let's say, the approach that young people should have for social media to cease being a challenge for people in terms of their mental health?
Okay, so briefly, sir. So social media is, I was talking with someone, I think a few months back, and then he said, Aminata, you know, third world war, social media get for causa. Like, you take something as big as World War. And then he said, you know, you're underestimating the power that social media has, especially in the minds of young people. And that's very true, because I might be sitting here depressed and broke without nothing except my red lipstick on, and I'll just take a picture and post on Facebook. I'm having the best time of my life at Palm Hotel, just finished 5 slushes, eaten a big slice of pizza, with nothing in my bag, with nothing in transport to pay to go home. And so until we try to accept our reality, until we try to live our truth, and take your life as your responsibility and avoid this comparison, because which is one of the main reasons. You see me in China, the next minute, hey, I'm not going to go to school, I know in China, so this is not my friend, even don't get. You don't even know how I made it there. You might not even know that I did not spend a kobo to get to China. And then you have to go through the extras and the excesses just to get what you see me having without knowing the path or the route I take. So we have to learn to live our truth. We have to learn to accept ourselves and focus on yourself, because the moment you're so focused on yourself, you don't even have time to notice what someone else is doing. And social media is so fake. It's so fake. You need to understand. You know, I have friends. I'm a young person. I have my contemporaries. There are times, you know, in just this family talk, someone will say, okay, so let me give you a real scenario. There was a time my friend and I were passing through her ex's lane, like this tight road, and she took a selfie. I was like, this thing is possible. If you can snap a good self, me, I need snap a good self. I said, no, I'm making that great stress. And I go post on Facebook, say, for example, Aberdeen, right now, Aberdeen Park Hotel. And then she did it on Facebook, and she posted a picture on Facebook. And just 15 minutes later, I was still with her. And then the ex called. You they don't post after me, they post on Facebook, me that friend come in and they then say, now also me come out. And then we were both laughing, you know, that was something gally. But then, yes, it's rare. But then, we have tampered with that other person's sanity. And that's because you fail to accept that this person might be faking it, or this person might actually be doing this to taunt me. So imagine a lot of other issues out there. You see a picture, you see a post, you see a video, and then you lose your self-esteem, like, I'm not good enough, Amy, I don't try, 27 years, I never get that, we can't pay the normal aid, we can't pay the normal, and you don't even know the routes they are taking. And you can't accept your individuality and own your truth.
Yeah, and in addition to that, a discussion can be opened, and I just add my voice, because the comments I make are meaningful for me and are sometimes a way for me to excel. And most of the time, people put you down with their comments, belittle what you have said, and just you raise it completely as if that you're completely stupid to say certain things while you were just sharing what you deeply feel.
This brand started when I was in college. It was out of passion. I started making African clothes, you know, selling it to my friends. Had to, even during our fashion, we have these clubs in Kobe College where they have their fashion shows, so I usually do it for them. Now I've gone further with it because I've seen that there's more I can offer. It's not only in Sierra Leone. So Salinians by Diaka, we are going out around Africa and bringing in products from different sides in Africa, especially East Africa, North Africa. So if you take a look at some of our products, we have things from Kenya, we have from Rwanda, Burundi, different sides. We love Africa, and Sierra Leone obviously is part of Africa. We want to grow Sierra Leone to put it on the map. So you can check us out, and we also do furnitures, not only clothes and accessories. We do furnitures, bespoke furnitures. We repose old furniture. So if you have an old furniture at your house, offices, or entertainment spaces, we can be able to renew it for you again and make it alive. Thank you so much, and follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Salinas by Diaka.
Student from the Emmanuel College of Education and Technology. So I'm glad to be here. Like what you said, I witnessed a very sad moment, but to my disappointed surprise, I went to somebody to talk to. When I explained my situation, it's like the person went, he intoned to explain his. Instead of him helping me, rather I become more empathetic to his own situation. Like I actually moved some distance. Actually, I thought I'm going to seek a counselor. So I went. I explained myself. He said, "You are lucky." You know, seriously. So like what I observed recently in Israel, I was also I was in a taxi. Somebody was actually explaining something to another person. So like instead of this, somebody tried to listen. Maybe yours seems to be better than I. Like Sierra Leone, it has got to a point wherein if you think that you are the most disadvantaged somebody, when you listen to another person's episode, you might say, "I thank God for me." So like I don't know, we are living in such a country. What can we do to salvage such a situation?
Thank you very much. My name is Mrs. Karim Awature. I'd like to ask a question to Mr. Rima. I think I probably missed it because it looks like there's an emergency, a surge of very young kids and teenage really experiencing who are mentally challenged, and mostly due to the behavior of the parents. So I'm just raising this because I know that this is a very important audience. You're growing up, we're all thinking of being in a couple, going into marriage life. But we also need to understand that whatever we are doing every day and at every minute is being recorded differently by our children. And the children react differently. You can be 10 or 5 in a family, and one is keeping something in the back of his or her mind different and processing it differently. I've seen quite a number of cases like that in my country, in Senegal. And I want to tell you that whatever we've discussed here, this is like the possible. That's what we are seeing in other countries as well. And this will briefly say that I have a technique that I believe there's no evidence that might work. What next? Anytime when I'm challenged with something, even less, I don't know why, I quickly say, okay, so what next? How do I cope with this? How do I accept it? What do I do? I'm losing the job today. Okay, so what next? And I describe a situation into, picturing like the two rooms facing each other. Even in my workplace, my staff, that's how I help them. Two rooms are facing each other and there's a corridor. The first room is a room with the issue, the problem, the stress you're facing. Then I always encourage people to leave the room, the negative room, and at least come to the corridor, because the corridor is, okay, you're thinking of what next. For instance, if it's about losing a job, something is ending, you're thinking of, okay, let me go back and look at my CV. Then you're progressing towards the other room, which is not dark, but light, not obscure, but full of hope. Because that way you won't sit and nurture stress and panic. So that's my very short comment that I wanted to make.
In a case someone have a mental disorder that cannot be cured, how do you think the family and the community can handle such issues?
You're quite right. In socialization, the hope is the primary agent of socialization. Then you now go to the school, to the churches, and then even to your peer groups in the school. So whatever happens in the home, children learn very, very, very fast. Let's bear that in mind. Children are very fast learners. If mother and father are always quarreling, instead of saying, hi, darling, I love you, how do you sleep? In the morning they start sending invectives. The child is going to take that out and then do the same. Because he or she feels that is correct. And of course, we have what we call nature versus nurture. Nature means how the child is brought to the world, and then nurture means how you grow up the child from the environment. If the environment is hostile, if the home is not conducive, the child combines those two, and then at the end of the day, you are going to have a dysfunctional child who will end up with mental illness. So, as your comment is very right that you really need to be very careful how we treat our kids at home. Otherwise, they are fast learners, and then they can learn so fast, and then take it out, cascade it out to the street, and then they become antisocial personalities. Yes, and now somebody was saying mental illness cannot be cured. How do you help? If a mental illness is not cured, how do you help the family to cope? My brother, I want to say mental illness is treated and not cured. Let's have that in mind. In medicine, there is a difference between treatment and cure. And in medicine generally, 98.99% of all illnesses in the world are treated. You treat hypertension, you treat HIV, you treat diabetes, you treat mental illness. You don't cure them, because when you cure them, it means it's not coming back. So I will say you will cure appendicitis, because when you do your appendicectomy, you will not have appendicitis anymore. So I guess if the person meets the right person or the right therapist and then meets the right treatment, the person can function optimally.
Okay.
In medicine. to release that.
How can the family help that?
Well, this comes to the point of the notion. It's called it, the family also has to be empowered. Because as far as they are concerned, they've given up hope. They believe this person cannot be treated anymore. And then they are moving in from one tradition or from one babalawo to another. So they need also to be brought on board. Presently, we have what we call the family users, family members and users association. So both users and the families are now both brought on board, and then they are educated on how to cope with these people that are with them that have mental health problems. So yes, they can be treated to a certain extent. They cannot be cured, but then we need to encourage the family members to be supportive. They have to be very, very supportive because remember, this is their loved ones. If they kick him out of this heat, he's going to perish. They have to be supportive at home, and they have to give him the basics. Till the time they see, there's this notion that people cannot. Sometimes there's a lull. Somebody gets very sick, but before you know it, he comes out of it, and then he realizes all what he's saying. Not that because somebody is mentally ill cannot realize, he can remember. If you take his money from him, if he abused him, he's going to say, you abused me the last time, you took my work, or you took my money, can I have it back? So you need to encourage the family and then give them supportive measures. Yeah.
And I do think that we went over the importance of love, empathy, and also giving your ear, your shoulder to people that you love. Would you like to answer some of the questions? Do you have any questions you would like?
Another question is there any measure to stigmatize mental illness?
Okay, so for that, last October, when we did our event at Excel, we partnered with the Ministry of Health. They have a whole mental health directorate at the ministry. And someone asked me the same question. So I posed the question to the staff at the ministry and said, I think this, because the ministry, of course, is the government body. So if there are going to be rules or regulations going to pass through a government body and not through a civil society or a civic engaging team. So I asked them, I think we need to put laws in place or policies in place for people who deliberately stigmatize and discriminate against mental health victims. And so the ministry told me that they're working on it, they're trying to put some things in place because actually the awareness is only now that it's on this increase. Because before now, the moment you have a mental health issue, you are at PC, and then that's the end of it. If you want to get better, if you want to go get better, you are there. In fact, even the family don't visit again. Most times the family don't follow up or whatever. So it's only now they're trying to put those policies in place, those laws in place at community levels, at social levels and national levels for people who stigmatize and discriminate against victims.
Thank you so much. Thank you for this wonderful session. The Ignition Hour would like to deliver a gift, a thoughtful gift to the patients at the DC Psychiatric Teaching Hospital, and the president of the 50/50 group is here to hand the present to Mr. Brahma for you to hand it to the patients with all our love, care, and empathy. Thank you.
Basically, the world has gone to a point where it's no longer business as usual. Now, so having a conversation like this and talking about mental health actually should be able to prick each one of our consciences so that when we see someone out in the street, we don't just go in an actress man, or you see someone who you actually know is going through something. You don't just go, we have all sorts of way of describing this thing. But also what is very key, there's a very thin line between sanity and insanity in our lives, and it can happen to anyone. Anybody can be going through something and just flip. Just one flip, one second, you've jumped over. You've gone to the point where you need support, where you need care, where you need people to understand, where you don't need people to be looking at you. Look at again. Look at you know. So these are some of the things when we're having these discussions. It's also be able to understand and get within ourselves to say if a family member or friend or neighbor or somebody you know in the community that you see obviously is going through something, the most we can do is give a hand, give a smile, give a smile. This is just a very small gift that Ignition Hour, Aminata, has put together. These are the patients for the mental health hospital, and we hope, you know, it gets to them, they're able to use them, and they're able to be looked after in a way where they can come back to society and be useful people in society, as not as opposed to people we look at as just victims. So it's just a very small gesture from Ignition Hour. Thank you, and I regards to Dr. Gallo as well.
I want to thank you and I want to assure you that the gifts meant for the people, less fortunate brothers and sisters. I know, we beat them, and then I will extend your regards to Jallo. He will be returning home today. Thank you very much.